Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling a really common health issue, one that affects millions high blood pressure. It's often called the silent killer. And for good reason, right?
Yeah,
Because it doesn't always have obvious symptoms, but it can lead to some really serious problems.
absolutely. Heart disease, stroke, kidney failure.
Yeah.
The list goes on. And it often creeps up on people.
Exactly. And for decades, the focus has mostly been on, well, the things we all hear about. Diet, exercise, stress, maybe genetics.
And those are definitely important, hugely important. Lifestyle factors play a massive role.
No doubt. But what if there's something else going on? Maybe a different kind of culprit lurking in the background.
Well, that's what's interesting.
Like a specific, maybe hidden molecule that could be damaging arteries and pushing blood pressure up, perhaps even if you're doing everything else right.
That's exactly the area that's getting a lot more attention in research now, a specific molecular mechanism.
So that's our mission for this deep dive.
Yeah.
Figure out what this newly discovered culprit might be, how it actually affects our cardiovascular health, and then look at some potential natural ways to deal with it, like this supplement we came across, Cardio Shield.
It's really fascinating how science keeps uncovering these deeper layers, isn't it? Even for something as well known as hypertension.
It really is. So, okay, let's jump in. What is this specific molecule that researchers are pointing to?
All right. The molecule we're talking about is called superoxide anion. Its chemical notation is O2.
Superoxide Anion.
Okay. It's what scientists call a reactive oxygen species, or ROS for short. Now, this isn't like the normal stable oxygen molecule we breathe, O2. Superoxide anion is, well, it's highly unstable, extremely reactive. Think of it like a tiny free radical that's desperate to react with other molecules.
So it's not just floating around harmlessly.
Not at all. Because it's so reactive, it basically goes around stealing electrons from vital molecules in your body.
Yeah.
And that causes damage, especially inside a blood vessel.
Damage. Okay, so how does this specific molecule, this superoxide anion, actually harm the cardiovascular system? What does it do?
It's kind of a triple threat, really. First, these superoxide anions directly attack the endothelium.
The endothelium, that's the lining of the arteries, right?
Exactly. It's a very thin, delicate layer of cells lining the inside of all your blood vessels. It's super important for keeping things smooth, regulating clotting, that sort of thing.
Okay.
When superoxide anions damage this lining, the arteries can become stiff, less flexible, narrowed even.
Stiff and narrow. Not good for blood flow.
Definitely not. Second big problem. Superoxide anions target and neutralize nitric oxide, NO.
Nitric oxide, I've heard of that. Isn't that important for relaxing blood vessels?
Absolutely critical. Nitric oxide is the body's own signal telling blood vessels to relax, to widen vasodilation, it's called. This is essential for healthy blood flow and keeping pressure down.
So the superoxide anion stops that from happening.
It binds to the nitric oxide and basically deactivates it, scavenges it. So instead of relaxing, the blood vessels tend to constrict.
Which forces the pressure up.
Correct. And losing nitric oxide also impacts inflammation and clotting mechanisms, too. It's really vital stuff.
Wow. Okay, so damaged lining, less nitric oxide. You said a triple threat. What's the third thing?
The third impact is inflammation. This rogue molecule, the superoxide anion, also triggers chronic inflammation within the artery walls themselves.
Inflammation. We hear so much about that.
And for good reason. In the arteries, this chronic inflammation contributes to plaque buildup, atherosclerosis, and it makes that arterial stiffness even worse.
So let me see if I've got this straight. You've got damage to the artery lining. You've got the body's natural relax signal being blocked. And you've got increased inflammation building up plaque.
You've got it.
It all adds up, doesn't it? The heart has to pump much harder to push blood through these stiff, narrowed, inflamed vessels.
Precisely. And over time, that directly leads to higher blood pressure readings.
And the really key point here, it seems, is that this can happen even if someone is, eating well, exercising, generally living a healthy lifestyle.
That's what the research suggests. Of course, hypertension is complex. Usually multiple factors are involved. But this superoxide anion mechanism provides a really compelling explanation for why some people struggle so much despite their efforts.
It does make you think differently about it. Which brings us to treatments. The standard medications doctors prescribe, beta blockers, ACE inhibitors, diuretics, they do lower blood pressure for many people.
They do, and they are incredibly important. Often life-saving medications, let's be clear. They help manage the condition effectively for millions.
Right. But based on what you've just described, maybe they're not hitting the root of this particular problem.
It seems to be the limitation, yes. In the context of superoxide anion damage, these conventional drugs often manage the symptoms. They might slow the heart rate, or force the vessels wider through different chemical pathways, or reduce overall fluid volume.
But they don't necessarily fix the underlying damage caused by those reactive molecules.
Nah.
Or stop the nitric oxide from being neutralized.
Generally, no. They work around the problem, effectively controlling the pressure, but not necessarily addressing that specific oxidative stress at the source.
And, of course, many people experience side effects with these medications, things like fatigue, dizziness, sometimes other issues too.
That's a significant factor, yes. Side effects can really impact quality of life and, frankly, whether people consistently take their needed medication.
Which kind of leads us to, well, are there other approaches? You mentioned a shift towards natural interventions.
Exactly. There's growing interest and research into interventions that work more at that molecular level, trying to address the cause, like this oxidative stress from superoxide anions, rather than just managing the numbers.
Okay, so a root cause approach. How does something like CardioShield, the example we mentioned, fit into that? How is it supposed to work?
Well, CardioShield is positioned as exactly that type of approach. It's formulated specifically to target the oxidative stress linked to superoxide anions. It uses a few different strategies together.
Okay, like what?
First, it aims to directly neutralize the superoxide anions themselves. It contains potent antioxidants. Ingredients like hawthorn berry, CoQ10, these are known for their ability to scavenge free radicals.
So like mopping up the damaging molecules.
Kind of, yeah. Protecting the arteries from that initial hit. Second, it's designed to support your body's own nitric oxide production.
Boosting the good stuff that the superoxide was blocking.
Precisely. Ingredients like L-arginine and garlic extract are included because they're known to help the body make more nitric oxide naturally. This helps those blood vessels relax and widen.
Makes sense. What else?
Third, it tackles inflammation. It includes various anti-inflammatory botanicals. The idea is to help reduce that chronic inflammation in the blood vessels we talked about, which eases the strain on the whole system.
Right, the inflammation that contributes to plaque and stiffness?
Exactly. And fourth, it aims to support the actual structure and function of the arterial walls. Certain plant compounds in the formula are believed to help improve endothelial function, that lining we discussed, making the arteries healthier and more flexible.
So it's hitting the problem from multiple angles. Neutralizing the bad guy, boosting the good guy, calming inflammation, and strengthening the vessel walls.
That's the concept, yes. A multi-pronged approach to address the underlying issues.
Let's dig into those ingredients a bit more. You mentioned hawthorn, garlic, L-arginine, CoQ10. Can you tell us a bit about why those specific ones are included?
Sure. Each one has a history or scientific basis for its inclusion. Hawthorn berry, for instance, has been used in traditional European medicine for, well, centuries for heart health. Research suggests it can help dilate blood vessels, may play a role in cholesterol levels, and supports heart muscle function.
Okay, a traditional remedy with some modern backing. What about garlic?
Garlic is pretty well known. It acts as a natural vasodilator, helps widen blood vessels, partly by boosting nitric oxide. There's also evidence suggesting it helps prevent plaque buildup.
And L-arginine.
That's an amino acid. It's basically a direct precursor to nitric oxide. Your body uses L-arginine to make NO. So providing more of it can help boost those levels, improve blood flow, and take some load off the heart.
Got it. And CoQ10.
Coenzyme Q10 is crucial. It's a powerful antioxidant that's naturally concentrated in heart muscle cells because they need so much energy. It helps with energy production and directly protects cells from oxidative damage, like the kind caused by superoxide anions.
So it's both fuel and protection for the heart cells.
In a way, yes. Then you also have vitamins like C and B6 in there. Vitamin C is another strong antioxidant and supports vessel flexibility. B6 is involved in various enzyme reactions important for cardiovascular health.
So it sounds like a carefully chosen blend, targeting different aspects of this superoxide anion problem.
That's the intention. Selecting ingredients that work synergistically to combat that oxidative stress and support overall vascular health. Aiming for a natural and safe approach to blood pressure maintenance.
Okay, this is all really interesting science. Thinking about our listeners, who should really be paying attention to this? Who might find this kind of approach relevant?
Well, obviously, if you've already been diagnosed with high blood pressure, this information offers a different perspective on what might be contributing.
Sure.
Also, if you sometimes experience things like occasional headaches, maybe some chest discomfort or shortness of breath, these can sometimes be subtle signs that your cardiovascular system is under strain.
Things you might dismiss, but could be related.
Possibly. And definitely if you have a family history of hypertension or heart disease, that suggests you might have a predisposition.
Makes sense.
And really anyone who's just proactively looking to support their artery health naturally. Or maybe someone who is taking prescription meds but is concerned about side effects and looking for complementary supportive strategies.
So it's about understanding these deeper causes and seeing if a natural approach like CardioShield could help support your heart health from that foundational level.
Exactly. It's about empowering yourself with that understanding and exploring options that align with addressing potential root causes.
We've talked theory, science, ingredients. But what about results? Are people actually seeing benefits from these kinds of natural formulas focused on oxidative stress?
Based on reports, yes. Thousands of people using products like CardioShield have shared positive experiences. Now, of course, individual results will always vary. Everyone's body's different.
Naturally.
But many users report noticing improvements, often within a few weeks of consistent use. The most common feedback is seeing better blood pressure numbers, both the systolic and diastolic readings.
Which is the main goal, obviously.
Right, but people also talk about other benefits, feeling like they have more energy, less fatigue during the day. Some mention sleeping better, feeling less anxious.
Interesting. So quality of life improvements too.
Yeah, and things like fewer dizzy spells or less lightheadedness. But I think a really powerful recurring theme is this feeling of being more in control of their health.
Oh, so?
Like they're not just, managing symptoms with drugs, but actively supporting their body's natural processes to be healthier. That feeling seems quite significant for many people.
I can imagine that sense of empowerment, of understanding what's going on inside and taking steps to address it naturally. That's huge.
It really is.
So wrapping this up, the discovery or maybe the increased focus on the superoxide anion as this sort of hidden driver for high blood pressure, it really does change the perspective, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It helps explain why some folks struggle so much with their blood pressure, even when they're trying hard with lifestyle changes. It highlights this underlying molecular battle.
But the good news, as you said, is that knowing this opens up new avenues. You can potentially fight back naturally.
Exactly, with the right tools, the right understanding. An antioxidant-rich formula like CardioShield is designed to be, which focuses on neutralizing that rogue molecule, supporting nitric oxide, reducing inflammation. It offers a way to help restore healthier circulation and protect your heart.
It really makes you think. Maybe the goal shouldn't just be managing blood pressure numbers, but actually transforming your heart health from the inside out, addressing these deeper issues.
That's a powerful thought to consider, isn't it? Shifting from management to true foundational health improvement.